Bullet Club.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. I'm your host for this video, Leanne, and I'm joined as always by my husband, Alan. Yay. And as you've seen from the title card recently, we are here with our reactions to AEW's most recent pay-per-view, Revolution. Whoop whoop. So it took place on the 9th of March and in Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. So if you're not familiar with reaction videos, just to note that this is going to be spoiler heavy for the show. So if you are planning to watch the pay-per-view, go see that first and then you can come back. We also have our predictions, which we'll be referencing quite a lot through this. So we'll put a link somewhere on the screen for you to check out what we thought was going to happen to compare to what actually did happen. It's all good. All right, so without further ado, we shall get to the 0 hour, where we ended up with 4 matches. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Well, if you can call it that. And something's changed. Right, let's get into it. The first was Blake Christian and Lee Johnson versus Hologram and Komander. This is our opening match. It was a very good starting match, and it's not wasn't as kind of special as I kind of expected it to be, but I think we're sort of still warming up in the show.
People were still filing into the building.
Yeah, so it kind of has a different atmosphere to a lot of the matches that are going to be on the pay-per-view. But it was enjoyable. Hologram is just magical all the time anyway.
I mean, Komander's nothing to sniff at.
No, definitely not. And Blake Christian and Lee Johnson are definitely skilled.
Blake Christian's going to go far.
Oh, for sure, definitely.
He's got a lot of potential.
So I feel like this was kind of almost a showcase match for those guys, and a nice opportunity and a nice start to warm up the crowd. Yeah, it was good.
No, it wasn't good about this match.
Where?
Alex Abrahante's black eye.
Oh yeah, his very
like,
black eye.
What?
It was a little bit over made up.
A little bit? I mean, I started thinking I was looking at Domino from the X-Men.
At first I thought maybe it's not meant to be a black eye. Maybe it's just like
some sort of face paint.
Face paint.
Because it kind of looked like it.
The commentators referenced it as being a shiner. I was like, oh, it's meant to be.
So
okay.
My question is, the person doing this shiner on him never seen a black eye before?
No, maybe he did it for himself. A lot of
do you think
wrestlers do their own makeup.
Do you think it was a case that he kind of went a bit too far on one hand? He's like, oh, I've got to even out.
Well,
he slipped again. He's like, oh, we're even out again now. Oh, that was a bit dark. I better make it all even. And that's kind of how it ended up, like this massive, like.
And then he's like, we're on first. Oh no, and he was not ready.
Alex, get your butt out there! Ah!
Quite possibly. So this match ends with Hologram hitting a 450 on Blake Christian and pinning him for a win for Hologram and Komander.
I was very slurpy because I spilled part of my drink. So,
oh no!
In terms of predictions, we did put that in the prediction video description because this was announced post our predictions going up. We both predicted Team Hologram Komander to win.
Yay! Good start. Our next match then is Shane Taylor Promotions versus the Undisputed Era with Daniel Garcia.
You sure? What do you say yesterday?
My brain keeps putting it to Shane Taylor Productions.
That's it, yeah.
Like they're a TV producing company or something. So I even when I was reading it out then, I had to correct myself. Yeah. So it's whoops.
Oh dear.
So, the brain is a strange thing.
It is. Yours especially.
Yes, very much so. This is a really fun match. It's heavy hitting and gave a lot of time for everyone in the match to show what they've got, mostly, maybe. Not so much. That's fine.
I felt there wasn't enough Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Undisputed Kingdom.
That one. Whoops. Sorry, I said that wrong as well, so that's on me because I put that in the air. Apologies.
It was a Daniel Garcia fest.
It was, and they did that. What did seem to be deliberate when he did tag himself in.
Yeah.
When Adam Cole was going for the Panama Sunrise.
Yeah. And it was obviously on purpose, but
yeah.
Like, I like Danny Garcia, and we talked about this in terms of Orange Cassidy, which we'll talk about in a bit as well, is that when he was the international champion, he was kind of rammed down your throat every single week.
Mm.
And it kind of feels like that's kind of what they're trying to do with Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got him to re-sign his contract with AEW. Now we have to utilize him everywhere and every way,
Yes.
doing everything. But to me, he has no gimmick.
Mm.
He's not very interesting.
He's got the dancing thing, but looks terrible.
He doesn't even do that anymore.
I think I really did enjoy him when he was being the underdog and he was climbing that ladder and showing people what he's got.
The dancing thing,
yeah.
when he was the Red Death.
But now he's like, I don't know, he's just among the rest, I suppose.
He's got the title now and he's like, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Cool.
We can't relate to him anymore.
Cool.
So yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it was a good showing, a good opportunity for the Shane Taylor promotions.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a good showing for STP. Because every one of those got a lot of ring time.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong, not so much.
I mean, Garcia was quite impressive managing to suplex Shane Taylor himself. It didn't happen the first time, but he got it, and that is not a small man to suplex. No. So, yes, but you are right. You should have. It would have been nice to see more of the Undisputed Kingdom in the ring.
Yeah.
We had the ops watching from. I think they said it was a luxury box, and then someone said it was a laundry box.
Yeah, I think it was Taz said they're in the laundry box.
I don't know what he means. It must like an in joke.
That's going to be on Potchamania.
Possibly. Maybe it means something.
Shout out to Matthew at Potchamania.
Yeah, but they're watching. Hook was eating, as he always seems to be eating.
He always seems, yeah. And look how skinny he is. Like, I wish I had his metabolism.
No, right? It won't last.
No.
Trust me.
What do you mean won't last? I never had it in the first place. Oh, do you mean Hook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
But following on from Garcia tagging himself in, he then puts a sharpshooter on Lee Moriarty, and then like chaos happens around him. And you've got Adam Cole still perched on the ring, on the turnbuckle, just staring,
ready for the Panama Sunrise. Yeah, but then no, because he's staring at him. He does, I think, step down. He's still staring at Danny Garcia, and Danny Garcia's staring up at him whilst having the sharpshooter on. But then someone runs in. He does end up sort of diverting and super kicking to prevent the breakup of the move.
But yeah, so it was. We think it was Lee Moriarty who taps out to that sharpshooter.
Yep.
So it's a win for. Team Daniel
Undisputed.
Garcia, I suppose.
I'm still calling it Team Undisputed, I don't care.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we predicted that again in our predictions video. Wasn't announced by the time we did that, so that was updated in the description below. So that we got that one correct as well.
We're both doing so good so far, 2 for 2. Let's see how long that lasts. So next we've got Gravity versus Chris Jericho. Hi guys. What match?
In my notes, I've just got, well.
So Gravity gets in the ring. Chris Jericho comes out, and he just immediately attacks Gravity with Floyd, causing the
Floyd
Aubrey,
being the bat.
Yes, the
pronouns,
bat. Pal. Not a person.
Yeah, just picks up a guy called Floyd from the crowd, that's swinging him around.
Yeah, so Aubrey just throws out the match. It doesn't even start. And then Bandito comes out to help. But they're still outnumbered.
Sorry, what was that name?
Bandito?
Bandido.
It's
a D.
I always thought that was just the American accent, but I should have just read the things.
No, it's Bandido.
Bandido.
Bandito.
I blame
It's
Americans.
his lesser-known cousin.
Bandito.
Arriba.
I got it like bandit, you know.
Yeah.
I was
but what
wrong.
does bandits do? Bandit do. I don't know where I was going with that.
I hate it so much.
Bandito. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I'd completely forgotten that Gravity was Bandito's younger brother.
Yeah, and then they mentioned it. It's like,
yeah. And they showed, was it the mother and the sister?
Yeah, so
as well.
Bandito comes out to help, but he's outnumbered.
You sure it was Bandito?
Because you've got Big Bill and Brian Keith.
Yeah.
So
it's the whole
they both get beat down. Jericho rips off Gravity's mask, like straight off, just rips it off, no effort. So Gravity is now like on the ground covering his face. Luckily the long hair helps.
Yeah,
but
that man's got really long hair.
He still obviously can't now use his hand because he'll risk showing his face. And then for some wild reason, Aubrey allows the family, the mother and the sister, we think, into the ring while Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith are still
that
there.
made no sense to me.
It's like, what are you doing? At least let security get in there first, separate them, and then they can check on the family, right?
It's like when, slight tangent with WWE, when Goldberg's son jumped into the ring to protect his dad, which, you know, fair enough. But they didn't even do that. They just kind of got in the ring and knelt down beside him.
The check on. I thought, I
was like,
the mum has like a t-shirt over a long sleeve shirt. Maybe she takes off the t-shirt so he can cover his face. No, they just knelt down and cowered.
Or she whips out like a spanner and starts smacking Jericho across the face with it. Like,
yeah, something. But then Jericho threatens to continue the attack when the women are there, and that's it.
That's it. In our predictions, we predicted Chris Jericho to win.
He retains.
I mean, I guess technically we were right on that one. It's not a match, but he's still the Ring of Honor champion, so we got that one correct.
We're going to count it.
Correct.
It's because it's the same point for both of us anyway. It balances out, so it's fine.
Let's see how that goes, right?
All right, and then our final match on 0 Hour is the one you've all been waiting for. MXM Collection and Johnny TV versus Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe.
Can we stop there?
I wish.
Damn it.
I gotta say it.
Damn it.
And Big Boom AJ. So we know Big Justice is there. He's the kid, I guess.
Yeah.
He comes out. But the Rizzler's there as well.
Dressed like Orange Cassidy.
Just like Orange Cassidy. He does a stupid chin thing. I don't like. I find him more annoying than Big Boom AJ and Big Justice, even though the Rizzler never says anything.
Tell us we're too old for this generation without telling us we're too old for this generation. I don't get any of this crap.
It's like 8 or 9.
8.
It's like, what are you doing? You're going to look back on your life and cringe so hard when you're an adult.
I don't think he will, because he'll probably still be raking it in, doing the same shtick in 20 years' time.
Yeah, so...
Snorting cocaine and doing his chin thing.
I don't think we need to say much more about this match, because it's just...
I mean, I put WTF, what was that, ugh.
It got so much more confusing. So, Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV, obviously they're together, and they kiss a lot, and they do a whole kissing spot. And then Harley Cameron comes out to attack Taya Valkyrie.
I really don't know if you can class that as kissing. At that point, it was borderline pornography. It should have been on the pay-per-view, not on Freeview. Like, dear God.
We allow a lot in AEW in terms of, like, blood and gore, but kissing where you can see their tongues? No, thank you.
I mean, they might as well just been spitting each other's mouths at that point, right?
I know, that's gross. But, get a room.
Dear God.
But I don't get.
We're married and we don't do that kind of fornication in public, you know.
But I don't understand what Harley Cameron's got to do with any of this. But she came out and attacked Taya Valkyrie. I don't know. Have I even got the finish written down? I don't know.
I've not. I know the kid got in the way. Oh no, I know what it was. I know what it was.
Yeah, Big Justice gets involved.
It was the triple powerbomb.
Triple powerbomb. Yeah, I've literally not written the finish down.
Don't even ask me who got powerbombed. I want to say it was Mansoor, but I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Because I think Madden would have been too big to get up. Yeah, we predicted that one correct. Next match.
Wait, but the absolutely even more confusing aftermath to the match. Murder Machine come out and surround the winning team.
Yeah. Surround?
Well, there's 2 of them. I don't know if they're on either side.
How can 2 people surround like a whole dozen?
How would you have said it? Murder Machine come out and...
They come out and try and have a face-off.
But on either side.
Yeah.
Okay, with each other.
Yeah. Because there's like 17 people in the ring.
So they're there. And then Powerhouse Hobbs comes out to I guess, rescue Cassidy, Briscoe, and Big Boom
even
AJ.
the odds.
Okay, cool. And then some random guys from the audience who are from the Righteous Gemstones, which is a new TV show. They come out. For some reason, I don't know. I don't know what.
This ended up being a bit of a train wreck.
It was so. I don't understand any of the connections between the people. And then these random people from a TV show, and they segue into a lower third little promo for the show. I have no idea what's happening right now.
I could probably show you a 10-man tag at New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you recognize more faces there than you did in this ring.
This match should have been, if it should have been.
It shouldn't have.
The first match on 0 Hour.
Or better yet, on Dynamite or Collision.
Yeah. But if they were going to do it, first match, less people see it, yay. And you have that little random fun, it's just a lot of people involved, just a little warm-up thing that doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything, and then everyone can go carry on with the show and forget it happened. I don't get it.
Awful. We got that correct. Next match. That's as much time as I want to give the big boom friggin' AJ.
I'm just so
stupid
confused.
Caveat. He's like the Pied Piper. He's got a bunch of kids following him around.
Oh, there were cookies involved as well, weren't they? And then people were knocking the cookies out of people's hands. I don't get it.
No, I think Orange come out of the ring. He grabbed the cookie, bit into it. He passed it to the Rizzler, and then Mansoor come out and he smacked it from his hand or something.
Yeah, and then
something like
Orange
that.
Put the cookie in his mouth, and it's a joke.
How many times have I got to say I'm done with this match before she moves on, kids?
Let's go on to the main show.
Please.
First match on the main show is Hangman Adam Page versus MJF. It's a big start. It's a great one to start the show, and a nice palate cleanser from what came before.
Actual wrestling is going to take place.
Actual
by actual
wrestling.
Professionals.
MJF obviously plays dirty from the start.
Oh, of course he does. It's MJF.
There's a weird thing where they're running the ropes. Hangman ends up on his knees in the middle of the ring. MJF runs the rope, stops in front of him, and just thrusts at him.
Yeah, that was
right in his face.
I mean, that did nothing more than annoy Hangman.
So that was the idea, wasn't it?
That look on his face, those wide eyes, just
oh, you
could see the rage building.
Eyes.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, so MJF was fully out just to wind Hangman up this whole time.
But the thing is, he's obviously learned from past matches that Hangman's had with other people, where he gets wound up, he makes mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets sloppy.
There was a point where MJF rips Tony Schiavone's headset off his head, and then I can't even remember what he said, but there were swear words.
Yeah, I think it's I'm the effing my face of this company or something, or
something
I'm the effing man, something like that.
It's the usual MJF rant. We love it. We don't need to remember it.
I want to see Gabe Kidd and MJF in a ring because it will just be a bleep fest, I swear.
MJF pile driving Hangman on a chair.
Oh, those tombstone pile driving.
Literally jumps from feet to knees on the chair, so Hangman's head.
And the chair didn't give either.
Didn't. It was just solid. The way you're two men.
That was that was savage. Absolutely savage.
And there was a lot more sort of savagery going on between
shenanigans.
Too much to probably go into, but it's one of those matches that you have to. Yeah, it's probably one to watch, especially for the storyline and the interactions between them.
The psychology in this match was off the hook.
Both of these guys, especially Hangman recently, the emotion that they can put into the wrestling and the downtimes as well, you just can't fault it.
I think I said it in the predictions that a year ago I never would have thought Hangman would have been he comes out and you sort of think, oh, look, Hangman's coming out. This is going to be great. A year ago, I probably wouldn't have said that.
No.
I probably would have been like, not again.
Yeah, he's come along.
And now it's like, oh, Hangman's coming. Here we go. What's next?
It's like he built himself up through that whole storyline with Swerve. He just grew through that, and he's just on that high trajectory and staying there.
Yeah.
So the finish, Hangman hits many buckshot lariats, and the final one does it, and he pins MJF. Hangman Adam Page is the winner.
Just a prediction. So we predicted MJF to win.
We did. I'm not upset at this outcome.
I'm wondering if MJF's going to retaliate. He's not going to like the fact that he lost.
No. And they won't end the feud on a straight match. Right?
But I can't remember a time really when MJF has gone, right, I want a rematch. Is the problem. That's not his way.
No. He will make Hangman Adam Page want another match.
And you'll keep denying it and denying it and denying it.
Yeah. He'll do something. Really enjoyed this one.
It was good. It wasn't like 100 miles an hour start, like it wasn't full pelt, but it worked. It really did work.
For sure. I mean, it didn't have much competition when it followed, so moving on. Our next match is for the TBS Championship. Mercedes Mone versus Momo Watanabe.
Yep.
Or Watanabe, as one of the
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness kept saying, like, oh, dude, really?
Not all Brits are idiots, honest.
Oh, it wasn't a bad match. There were some weird moments in it.
Yeah.
It just sort of, there were some bits that sort of didn't feel like they were working right. A little awkwardness going on.
To me, that felt like it was Mercedes not doing as Momo particularly wanted her to.
Yeah, there's a lot of no selling or like Momo struggling to actually get a move going, which could or could not have been Mercedes resisting.
What else would it have been? Let's be perfectly honest. She is a nightmare.
We got Billy Starks watching on, looking like she's taking detailed notes. She's got an A4 pad.
Yep.
And pencil. She's clearly checking out the competition.
Well, she's allied with Athena, the current Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Yes.
I mean, for this, I've put boring for the most part, but the last 5 minutes did pick up.
For sure. Momo needs to hook the leg though when she's pinning.
Oh god, that was winding me up so much.
Especially you try and pin 2 or 3 times and it's not working, you make the pin better. Hook the leg, please.
It's not rocket science. Why?
This is a really good wrestler. I don't know what happened. It feels like something must have been off because it's like
Mercedes.
It's a fundamental thing. If you do a pin to make a pin look good, you hook the leg. It makes it more secure. So it's a bit odd.
Makes it harder for the opponent to kick out.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it was okay. There were some good moments, like you say, the last section. But there were also some weird kind of vibes going on.
What was that one when Momo was kicking her, and it looked like she kicked her and literally caught her in the throat or under the jaw?
She did.
Oh my god.
So Mercedes had this massive choker on, which either protected or made that a lot worse. But it did look like she got kicked in the throat.
Obviously, we watched this last night, and I've literally just got home. We're recording this as I got home. And supposedly Mercedes has a bruised larynx.
Whoops. Might keep it quiet for a bit.
Oh, please. don't threaten me with a good time, Leanne.
So we come to the finish. Mercedes Moné hits a moneymaker and then puts Momo in a statement maker.
How many more names can you make up for your moves that have the word maker in them?
And Momo does tap out.
Lame.
Mercedes retains.
Which is what we predicted and we got correct.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Yep.
For a change of pace.
Yeah.
For the AEW World Championship.
What?
Sorry, the #1 contendership for the AEW World Championship. My apologies. I skipped a bit in my notes.
I legit thought I blacked out and we missed all these matches, and I'm like,
going right to the end. No,
I know it's been a long day at work, but what the hell was that?
This is for a championship match between, and this match is between Swerve Strickland and Ricochet. I'm so sorry, I ruined that. It's real smooth. This
My
is
wife, ladies and gentlemen.
This is another great match.
She's as smooth as peanut butter.
Back on form.
Chunky kind.
Thanks. Random drum solo for Swerve's entrance.
Awful.
And then the drummer keeps drumming through the entrance music,
which is triggering
but is so out of time.
That was triggering you so hard.
It really. I mean, you had Prince Nana starting the dance, and I always dance as well because you've got to. But I had to stop because it just different beats at the same time messed with my head. And there was a moment he was in time, and then he lost it again. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
So that was me.
Do you think he had the track on like 1.25 times speed in his earpiece?
Maybe he just didn't have the monitor. So
maybe he's just a crap drummer.
Why would you have just a random drum solo? I don't get it. Anyway, it's fine because the match was good. You had Ricochet had the robe, the embassy.
Yeah.
Robe. My brain went blank. And he has adapted it. We weren't sure what he was going to do, if he was going to cut it up, but he's got his own logo on the back now.
The Ricochet logo.
Hopefully removable. So that's hung up on the turnbuckle in his corner. And for the start of the match, Prince Nana is edging around the side of the ring. Just take it. Just take it.
He was right there and he didn't.
He hesitates and then Ricochet tells him off and he wanders off again. Don't know. He could have just taken it. He had so many opportunities, but
he did.
This is fine. There's a moment where Swerve is beating up Ricochet on the outside, and Prince Nana tries to calm him down, I suppose, to get back in the ring.
Yeah,
presumably.
From behind though.
But Swerve is all het up and sort of rears back at Prince Nana.
No, he pushes him, didn't he?
Did he push him?
I think he shoves him.
I wasn't sure.
Because he's kind of like, he's from behind and he's doing this. And I'm pretty sure he just kind of...
Maybe. It's definitely not good.
Looking.
But then Prince
he's
Nana's
like, my bad.
Yeah, I'm out, bye. And then flips the bird and heads off up the ramp. It's like, all right, I know tensions are high, but it's heat of the moment. Maybe calm down a bit. But it's fine. But he has enough and leaves. And then the fight continues. Then a bit later on, he comes back. He grabs the robe, but then Ricochet flies into him.
Yep.
And takes the robe back. So there's a lot of stuff around the robe.
And puts it on.
He does put it on. In the middle of a match. It must have been boiling and sweaty. So yeah, there's a lot of back and forth, and Ricochet's great, Swerve is amazing, so it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. It ends with Swerve hitting big pressure on Ricochet and winning, so they get the rope back.
How many house calls and stomps? Jesus.
Oh, so many. Ricochet kicked out so much, like a superhero now. But he's still never going to be a face again, probably.
Not as long as he's bald.
No, lots of bald chants. Yeah, it's a good match.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. In terms of predictions, I predicted Ricochet to win. You predicted Swerve to win.
Yes.
I still feel this was the wrong call. I think Ricochet should have won this.
Wrong house call.
Yeah, I still think it would have been better if Ricochet won. I don't want AEW getting into the same trap that WWE finds itself in by having the same people.
Yeah.
With the titles in the title pictures, etc., etc.
Yeah, fair enough. So at the end of this match, Prince Nana sort of bestows the robe on Swerve. It's a nice little moment.
Well, he does, but Swerve kind of goes onto his knees first and offers it to Nana.
So it's like they both bestowed it on each other. It's nice. Okay, anything else about that one? Are we good? Cool. Our next match. This one is for a championship.
Hey!
It's for the AEW Continental Championship, and it's Kazuchika Okada versus Brody King.
Part of me half expected you to say Intercontinental, and I was going to be like, oh my god, this video's a train wreck.
It's more entertaining, right? Right. Please like and subscribe. This is another great match. Brody King is ruthless.
Like a beast.
Okada... just really strong, surprisingly strong. I
always forget how much you've not seen of Okada, or how little you've seen of Okada.
And he's so straight-faced, but so funny at the same time. It's brilliant.
It's like dryness.
Oh, so good.
Rainmaker.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, they just beat each other up. It was great. Meat fights.
I mean, something went wrong with Okada as well, because he had some...
Yes.
Cut on his bicep.
So he's got armband.
It's an elbow pad of some sort.
But above it, there would look like there was a cut or a graze. But on the other arm, he had it was like red sore
welt
patch.
of some sort. Yeah.
So he must have gone into something.
I reckon it was the barrier, or maybe that LED barrier, possibly.
But then maybe there's a sharp edge or something. Don't know. It seemed okay. It was meat.
Don't quite know when it happened.
No, they were on the outside quite a few times. Running into barriers.
As is Brody's game plan,
yeah. I mean, there was one point Brody cannonballed into the timekeeper's area a bit, and that barrier just didn't budge.
No, it did not give at all.
Oh, brutal.
Savage.
So at one point, Okada brings a chair into the ring, and while the ref is taking it off him to put it away, he grabs the belt instead and hits Brody with it. Yeah. But Brody still kicks out of that pin attempt.
Brody's a beast, man.
He is. You got to hit him 6 times with the belt to get anywhere close. But at the end, it is a Rainmaker delivered by Okada that gets Brody. So Okada pins and wins.
Yep.
Retains that championship.
This was a great hard-hitting fight, and I really want to see this again because it was so good.
Yeah, want a rematch.
In terms of predictions, you had Okada to win. I had Brody King as my desired result. Cool. So I take the bye on that one.
Nice.
And you obviously get that correct.
Wait. I feel like I'm doing so good. It's not going to last.
Maybe.
Next match. We have the Hurt Syndicate versus the Outrunners for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
People.
They do hurt people.
We didn't do the Who's House. Damn it.
Whose house?
Too late now.
Outrunner's house.
Whose house? We hurt people's house.
It was a fun match. It was quite an interesting storyline through it, in that the Hurt Syndicate sort of seemed to start out not taking the Outrunner seriously and as a credible threat. And through the match, you see them sort of realizing, oh wait, we actually need to try. Particularly MVP is just yelling. So like, come on, you can't lose to these guys.
And also we see some sort of dissension as well. It seemed like Lashley and Shelton Benjamin were getting along as well as they usually do.
Pressure's on.
Whether or not Shelton was like, we got to take this seriously, and Bobby's like, they're a joke. Maybe that's where I don't know.
Maybe.
But there seemed to be a little bit of friction there as well.
I love the Outrunners. So fun. And they get to do all their gimmicks during this match, which is nice. And the Hurt Syndicate, just they hurt people. I mean, they do what it says on the label, for sure.
There's the tin, there's the label, that's where it is. It says it's a spade, it's a spade.
So we come to the finish, and Lashley hits, I think it was Turbo Floyd with a spear.
I'm pretty sure it was Turbo.
And pins him for a win for the Hurt Syndicate.
Savage spear.
Yeah, Lashley's he's so good at spears.
Yes. In terms of predictions, I predicted the Hurt Syndicate to win, and you had the Outrunners as your desired result.
Yeah, I still think it would have been hilarious.
Oh yeah. I mean, give it time. Youngest man in the business, right?
Youngest men alive.
Same thing. They're the youngest men alive. They're clearly the youngest men in the business, right? I think that this was a good match. I could see them getting another title shot at some point. Maybe not for a little while, but they will get there again.
We need a montage first.
With training montage.
Definitely.
Need them running the steps like in Rocky.
Yes.
But I think at some point they will win those titles.
Yeah, good. I'm here for it. So our next match is for the AEW Women's World Championship. We have Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
The Hollywood ending. Falls count anywhere.
Woof. This was brutal.
So it's Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah.
Unsanctioned match. No, sorry, Elimination Chamber. Unsanctioned match. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The first 5 minutes of this match put that entire thing, that whole debacle, to shame.
So did. There was so much blood.
And guess what? This was sanctioned.
Oh, it was. Even before the blood, they were putting that match to shame. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So you had there's a taser.
Oh god, yeah, that was. Oh my god, I forgot about the taser.
Luckily, no one got hit by it, but Luther did go through a table with champagne glasses on it, and that's the last we saw of him for the match.
Yeah. For the night, really.
Yeah. You had them. They went off the stage, in like the first 5 minutes.
I still sort of with that taser spot. I mean, the match didn't even start in the ring because Mariah May bum rushed up to attack Toni Storm. That's kind of where that all started from. The taser thing gets pulled out. It isn't effective against Luther because she doesn't hit Luther with it. But
then she just leaves it.
It gets dropped, and then she literally walks right past it. I think it would have been better if Luther had grabbed her, squoze her arm for her to drop it, picked it up and thrown it.
Yeah.
And then get shoved over the table.
Then it's out of the picture. Yeah. Yeah, very true.
That just felt, that was the only bit of this that was like...
yeah, she could have easily picked that back up.
She literally walked past it, and I said, why isn't she picking it back up?
Definitely.
Because it was clearly the plan.
Yeah. It's not like it's small and you couldn't see it. Yeah. It's chunky. Fists of glass.
Oh, God, yeah.
Tape wrapped around the fists, both of them, both ladies, and then into a bucket of glass to make things.
Glass, yeah.
Where Mariah May definitely didn't use enough tape, and then was screaming when she was putting her hand, and it was like, well, you didn't use enough tape, did you?
I think Toni was as well, but yeah.
Strip,
yeah.
But Toni had, like, the whole fist covered. I mean, amateur time?
Amateur, oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was impressive. I mean, Toni gets the first. She starts bleeding first.
Oh,
and it's a lot. Oh, it's a lot.
We think she went a bit deep.
Yeah, and then she's just saying, "Oh, for F's sake!" You can just catch it when the camera goes around. Yeah. It's like, "Whoops!" And then it's. I've not seen a Crimson Mask that complete very often.
Yeah, it's not very often you see it these days.
It's everywhere.
I get the feeling that she didn't quite realize how maybe deep it was or how wide it was or whatever, until she's like, I can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, for you know.
Oh, it's good though. I mean, it's crazy. This match was insane and very fun, and the characters come through.
Don't forget the bottle between the legs.
Oh, smashing the champagne bottle between the legs. Yeah, that could literally end someone if you get that wrong. I say breakaway glass. It's not real glass. Cry me a river. I don't know. I think the fist stuff might have had real glass though, because you can't really get breakaway glass to stick on your fist on some tape without it just powdering. Yeah. So there's probably something there.
Probably a bit of both.
Yes, but they're being careful with it. Yeah. You know, they know what they're doing, right?
They're professionals, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, it was jam-packed action start to finish.
Jam, is that what we're calling blood now?
Same colour.
Depends on what jam you get.
But coming towards the finish, Toni Storm manages to get the shoe that Mariah attacked her with previously.
Still the bloodstains on it too.
Still bloodstains. I put the shoe.
The shoe.
It's the capital S shoe. Hits Mariah in the head repeatedly. They're back on the top of the stage at this point. And then hits a pile driver through the table, which is painted to look like the Hollywood sign.
Pile driver or Storm Zero?
Oh, it might be in a Storm Zero. Yeah. It's a type of pile driver. Right?
Yeah, it's a short pile driver.
Toni pins Mariah to win, and then they lie there with Toni embracing Mariah.
Is there like a point where she sort of goes to shift and she gets him, she looks at her, and then she just kind of reseats herself back down? And it's like...
They got their Hollywood ending.
Okay.
It's almost romantic.
Yeah. In terms of predictions, we both predicted Toni to win. Ding ding, that's a winner.
Whoop whoop. And we're rewarded with some filler. Brace yourself.
I was just going to say, I don't think we'll get a rematch to that anytime soon, but down the line, they'll probably sort of visit this maybe 2-3 years' time, maybe.
Yeah. We'll have a return to Hollywood.
It'll be the sequel.
Yes.
End all sequels.
So here we get a bit of filler. It's a AEW Dynasty ad.
Oh no! Oh my god! So relevant. I'm actually being serious. That is very relevant.
It's very relevant. And then we get another match. What's that? One ad? One?
Where's my filler?
It was all on 0 hour, I think.
That is no way to talk about Big Boom AJ.
Well, I can talk like that about
the Jericho gravity thing be seen as filler?
In a way, but it was still in-ring action.
It was still in-ring action.
Yeah.
Even when AEW does filler, it's bloody in-ring competition.
Very much so. Okay, our next match then is for the AEW International Championship. Konosuke Takeshita versus Kenny Omega.
Best bout machine, here we go.
Excellent match.
Oh, yes.
This is another one that's, there's a few on this card. This is another, like, must-watch, I would say. Non-stop action. And, again, storytelling through it. There's a lot of playing on Kenny's diverticulitis. And rising above that challenge. It's sort of, the matches he's been in recently, it's been very much, like, as if it was holding him back a little bit, and he was having to fight through it. And this is like the story of he's overcoming it. He's still got the pain, obviously, and it's being targeted because why wouldn't you target it? But he's like rising above the odds and he's showing that he is strong and he can do this. So it's good. I love it.
I think I did notice with this, and same with the match with Gabe Kidd as well, and even in the tag match at Grand Slam. Much like when Stone Cold Steve Austin had his neck injury, he had to change his working style in ring.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's toned down the high-flying stuff a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, fair enough, absolutely makes sense. But he's adapting.
Yes.
And he's making it work for him, and that's great.
For sure.
If you don't adapt to an injury...
you let it win.
Well, it's not even that. It's if you don't adapt to a new style in the ring, fans aren't going to enjoy your work anymore.
Yeah.
They're going to look at you and go,
do it as well.
Well, he's not doing that, but he's not doing anything else.
Yeah.
He's just, okay, what? And
you've got to replace what you've lost with something else.
And that's exactly what Kenny has done, and that is superb, and that's why he's literally one of the best in the world right now.
Yeah.
Without a question. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep. So Don Callis is on commentary.
Oh, prick.
And he gets up quite a few times.
Oh, yeah. His favourite
Kenny.
pastime during this pay-per-view was throwing his headset down on the desk.
Yeah, I did enjoy, though. The ref was distracted at one point, so Don Callis goes and punches Kenny a few times, comes back to the desk, and he's hurt his hand.
Yeah. Like, he headbutt my hand or something, I think he said.
Yeah, he like led with his head, so it hurt my hand.
Prick.
Dear me, it serves him right. There's a
the day that Kenny gets his hands on him is going to be so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
And Ospreay.
There's a spot on the outside with the table. Takeshita set up this table upside down. And then
no, he set up straight, and Kenny flipped it upside down.
Oh yeah, but then we've got, I think Takeshita was it a power bomb, something like that.
I can't remember, but it was stomach first.
Stomach first, so it wasn't a power bomb.
He threw him stomach first onto it.
But the table legs were so close to Kenny at that point. A bit worrying.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then Takeshita gets him on the side of the table, turns it side up, and Kenny takes his stomach first. Ouch.
That was really painful.
And then Takeshita literally,
even without diverticulitis, that's going to hurt.
Looks to camera and says, "I'll kill him." Oh, okay. All right, that's where we're going. Yep, I can believe that. So yeah, it's just like start to finish, excellent.
Yeah.
Takeshita's brutal.
Oh yeah.
But so skilled, and Kenny's just amazing. Can't fault him at all.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So the finish, so Don Callis does get involved again.
Surprise.
I didn't write down what he did this time, but it's fine.
He hooked Kenny's ankle.
Yes, that's right, because Kenny was going to go over the ropes.
And he's holding him, he was doing that.
Held his legs. Yes. Kenny tries to go for a one-winged angel, but doesn't manage to get it.
Kind of plays into the stomach again.
Yeah. And then puts a crucifix pin on Takeshita, which he manages to roll out of, and then goes into again, and out of again, and then into again, and third time's a charm. Takeshita's pinned. Kenny,
that last one looked like he kind of leveraged a lot more weight onto it. Yeah.
With that crucifix pin, there we go.
Didn't even need to one-winged angel him.
Nope.
That's my boy, Kenny. That's my boy.
New champ.
Guess who correctly predicted that? The both of us.
I forget what I say all the time. The only one I remembered was my desired result.
And they failed you. They failed you, Leanne.
But they were desired result because you kind of expect them to fail, right?
Yeah, it's
fine.
It's just like the long shot, isn't it? The outside shot. But yeah, no, this was great.
Yeah.
It's good to see Kenny getting some retribution on the Don Callis family as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get his hands on Don Callis now.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's champion, he might be able to. Okay, our next match is our steel cage match. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. And this is another one to watch. This is up there. Hell of a match.
On my notes I've got, when you think the Hollywood ending was brutal, this literally goes, hold my beer.
Yeah, I feel like Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher were taking notes about, they're like, right, they're bleeding, so we're going to try and get the same.
Looks like about half a pint, so I'm going to try and get a pint.
Yeah. I don't think they bled quite as much, but...
Oh, I do not mind. Ospreay was flowing.
Yes, but it didn't cover his whole face, but it might have been facial hair stopping it.
Yeah. It was close.
You know what wasn't so good about Ospreay? It's the weird dubstep track.
Oh, I forgot about that.
What? Why Will Ospreay? It was
why have I forgotten about it? Because it's poxy dubstep is why.
It like starts with Ospreay saying, "I'm on another level," and then it's like repeating, and then it turns into dubstep. Yeah. Like, wait, is this his new music? Because this is terrible. But then it stops and goes into his new music. So instead of...
No, it goes into his normal music.
Yes, normal music. Sorry. So instead of thinking, I hope this isn't his new music, like, well, what was the point of that then? So a bit weird.
It was a bit odd.
Fine.
That was a bit odd.
They both start the match on top. They climb the outside instead of going through the door, as you do. And they're both very much using the cage to their advantage. Although I felt it quite interesting that Ospreay played into the cage being in the way for like the first segment. So really showing because a lot of his moves are like bouncing off the ropes.
The springboarding stuff, yeah.
Yeah, springboarding.
They said in the commentary it's his first steel cage match.
Yes, so he was very much leaning into that. But then as the match goes on, he uses the cage to aid those moves.
But some of them, I mean, the Oz cutter does, but then he doesn't really do many other springboard moves for the entire match.
So at least he's adapting.
So he's adapting to that by not doing the stuff he would usually do. Yeah,
but it's good to sort of see they're actually
showing
that in the storyline.
Match. Yeah,
very good. There's a point where Ospreay's grabbing Fletcher's fingers through the cage to inflict pain. Fletcher lawn darts Ospreay into it, which is where we get our first blood, I believe.
Yep, I believe so.
Faces and cages shouldn't meet. It's a bad time. So a bit later on, Mark Davis comes out with a little gym bag full of stuff.
Toys.
Including some bolt cutters. So he opens up the cage, puts the weapons in, but then Ospreay slams the door into his face.
Yeah.
So that he can get some blood as well.
Colour, yeah.
So they're all matching with the
only one that's not bleeding in this is the referee.
Oh, yeah.
She just tossed him in the cage just for the hell of it.
I know.
Bust open the ref, right?
Later on, Mark Davis interferes again, breaking up a pin and attacking Ospreay. We get Tax. Love some Tax. And Ospreay delivers a Styles Clash onto the Tax, which is, I feel like, so much worse because you can see it coming. You can see those pins on their way to your face and body and everywhere.
I just hope Fletcher was wearing a cup.
I know, right?
Because where he landed... Oh, that makes me cringe.
Really good. We also get a Spanish fly off the top of the cage.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough.
But it looked so good.
I forget the screwdriver as well.
Screwdriver, which was conveniently hidden in the top of the cage where Ospreay had been, even though Kyle Fletcher gets it.
Yeah.
Ospreay could have maybe seen it. I guess he wasn't looking for it.
Wasn't looking. Tunnel vision, right?
It's fine.
He's locked in on Fletcher.
But Ospreay does then use the screwdriver on Fletcher.
Yeah.
Bit of payback. And then, have you got anything else you want to highlight?
No.
No?
I didn't make many notes of this. It's just carnage.
Yeah, it was blink and you'll miss it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So Ospreay hits a Tiger Driver and pins Kyle Fletcher to win the steel cage match.
Yep.
Yay.
Much to Don Callis' chagrin, obviously.
Yeah, obviously he's not happy. He's had a bad night.
Yep. Who predicted that one to get that right? Who predicted Ospreay to win, Leanne? We both did.
Both of us. Yeah, don't ask me, and it's a genuine question. I will not be able to tell you.
So yeah, there you go.
That reminds me, there was a moment Kyle Fletcher.
I was just going to say, actually.
Yes. He basically went into begging mode.
He's like, I'm sorry.
He has the armband that the
United
Empire armband that he stole from Ospreay and puts it on, and he does the symbol, and Ospreay sees right through it because he's been.
Well, there's a point where he kind of, I think he hits a low blow or something on Ospreay because he comes out because he takes it off and he starts wiping it. He wipes his face with the blood and then he jams it in Ospreay's mouth, and it's like, oh my god, oh my god,
it's lovely. Yeah, excellent match. So far you got 3 that you need to go see if you're not going to watch the whole show.
Yeah. So you got Ospreay and Fletcher, Konosuke and Kenny, and which one's the other one?
The Hollywood ending.
What about Swerve and Ricochet?
Oh gosh.
What about Okada and Brody?
Just watch the whole thing. Just skip Mercedes and don't watch the 0 hour.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. So after that, we need a bit of a break. So we're going to have some filler, but don't get too comfortable because there's only 2 bits. They have a recap of the women's match, which I put in here because it's kind of filler because it's not relevant to the.
But you know why they've had to do that, right?
Because they got to clean.
They got to clean the damn ring
again. And then we've got Tony Schiavone talking to the director and actresses from the Queen of the Ring film.
Yeah.
And they are really awkward in what they just don't know what they're trying to say.
There's some wrestlers have had to come to the defense of this woman saying, "You already know who's going to win."
Yeah, that
was very unfortunately worded.
I don't think it came out how she expected it to.
Nope.
It was a little bit awkward.
Nope.
She was meant to. I feel like she was trying to say it's about confidence and believing in yourself.
But
it came across as in predetermined. Great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well done. Maybe think about your words before you say them.
I know. I didn't feel prepared at all. They need a script, you see.
Yeah.
Not like real wrestlers.
Bloody actors.
So,
get out of my ring.
Time for the best bit. It's Leanne's signs of the pay-per-view. Leanne's signs of the pay-per-view.
Oh, jeez, you've stapled it.
I thought we're likely to use the S more than not, and if we don't, I can just fold it up. So, yes, there you go.
Okay.
I feel like there needs to be an equivalent to he's more machine than man now, but with signs. It's more scrap than sign now. So yeah, I didn't get many signs, and the 3 signs I've written down are from the exact same person and are on the same theme. But I don't really understand, but they're a bit wild, so I've written them down because I found them funny, but don't really understand if they're meant to mean more than they say. So with that massive build-up, here's the letdown. Put MXM in Shrek 5.
Okay.
Put Hangman in Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay.
Put Swerve in Mass Effect. There were more, but I didn't manage to see them on camera enough.
Okay.
There was one I could see part of that said put every wrestler in, but I couldn't see the rest of it. Someone had fun.
Okay.
And it really makes me want to find the Shrek 5 trailer because I've heard it's wild.
Yeah, I've heard that the art style's changed and it's... Anyway.
Yes. So, that's it. That's all the signs. They still count because they were a bit random and I like random. So, if you are the person or you know the person who owns those signs, drop a link below. Or if you saw different signs or whatever, put a thing on the thing. It's all good. This has got away from me so bad.
I don't think this cup of tea has helped you wake up, has it?
It's gone so cold now. Thanks for watching Leanne's Signs of the Pay-Per-View. Leanne's Signs of the Pay-Per-View.
It's more metal than paper.
More metal than paper now. You know what that means, though, don't you?
What's that? It's time for the main event.
That was so in sync. I
don't like in sync. I like my metal.
So this is for the AEW World Championship. Actually, is this time. This is Jon Moxley versus Adam Copeland, or as they're now calling him,
Cope.
I don't like it.
It's a single syllable, like edge.
Only it's less edgy.
Cope. Edge. Cope. Cope edge. Edge Cope.
I was happy when they were saying, "Oh, it's Adam Copeland Cope," or "Adam Copeland."
They could have just done Copeland.
Now it's just Cope this whole time, and even on his little introduction bit,
lower third.
Cope. Like no,
yep.
He's lost the rest of his name. It's gone forever. Another great match.
Is this the equivalent of WWE getting the house and the divorce? He's lost his land.
A little bit. So I found the start of this match. It felt a bit slow.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, it followed a very active cage match, and neither of these guys are high-flying, flippy, fast wrestlers.
The problem is when you've got 2 guys punching each other.
Yeah.
Punch.
There was a lot of
punch. This is getting really old really quick.
Yeah.
Same with the chops. I'm getting really fed up with that.
Yeah, there was a lot of chops.
And it was right off the bat. It wasn't even a tie-up. It wasn't even a high-impact move to start off with. It was punch.
Yeah.
Punch. For like the first 2-3 minutes. And it's like, oh my God, can we stop this, please?
Yeah. So it started off pretty slow. It's a lot to follow, I think, having the cage match just before the main event when it's a very different style of wrestling. Must be so hard. I felt like I wasn't in the right mental place for it, I think. And
Cope's gear was distracting because it was very bright green.
It was like fluorescent.
Ooh.
Highlighter green. But it was still a good match, and it did pick up as it goes along. I did enjoy seeing the ref, Bryce Remsburg, standing up to Jon Moxley.
Even though JR didn't. JR was bitching about that.
Well, the ref is the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This isn't a stipulation match. This isn't an anything goes match. He's got to try and uphold the rules, and if he can't at least attempt to stand up to the wrestler who's trying to break the rules, he shouldn't be a ref. So this is just...
I think you're saying Bryce was taking too many liberties or something? I don't know. Shut up, Ross.
Ah.
I think it's about time Jim Ross retired, personally.
Yeah, probably.
When he came out to commentate on the Hollywood ending, I literally thought he was just going to completely complain about the blood all the time, like he did with Hangman and Swerve in the cage.
If he doesn't like the blood, he should go to WWE. They don't have any.
Yeah. They can't fired him, and I don't think they'll take him back.
No. But anyway, yeah, Bryce was great and took a hell of a bump and sold it so good.
Oh, that was a good bump, yeah.
We kind of knew that ref bump was coming, and then he just like...
It's a match with Mox. It's obvious it's going to happen.
Flipped over the ropes, off he goes.
Yeah. See ya!
We don't see him for a while.
Bye!
But there's no spare ref. The amount of times in a match, and maybe I'm thinking WWE, but as soon as a ref's down, you maybe wait 2 minutes and there's another one running down the ramp.
Usually it's when a pinfall's about to take place and then they just start sprinting down.
Yeah, fair enough. But they didn't.
Yeah.
We'd had no ref for a while. Yeah. And then
I'm thinking about it. I kind of like that more because it kind of leans a bit more into the dangerous nature of Moxley.
Yeah,
like no ref wants to go out and be a part of it unless they absolutely have to.
That's fair enough. It's sort of, I guess, if a ref's going to come out really quickly, it takes the jeopardy of being refless out. Because once the ref's down, the cheating can start in earnest. And also it's harder, you can't finish the match, so you're sort of in more danger for longer. So yeah, it makes sense. I guess it's more realistic. At one point, Moxley's, he tries to go for the concerto on Cope.
Yes.
He puts the chair down under his head wrong, but whatever, we'll let that go. He doesn't do it often. And then he's like lining up the chair, and then he lifts back up. He lines up the chair. It's like, something's gonna happen. There's no way he's gonna land this thing.
Yeah, Mox made a bit of a pig's dinner out of this.
Yeah, I don't know if he was milking it too much or if Cope missed his cue or something, because that would seem to go on for ages. But in the end, Cope kicks the chair into Mox's face. Yeah. And that's a nice moment. Can't concerto the concerto master.
Oh my god, I just realized Moxley didn't bleed, did he?
He didn't. There's enough blood. I'd have fill of blood.
Is it really a pay-per-view if Moxley doesn't bleed?
I know. I think he's gone past it.
Jeez.
So yeah, and then we also have Wheeler Yuta coming out.
Yeah. And
he comes out and he's like looking between Moxley and Cope. There's been the build-up of, is he gonna turn his back on Moxley? But he doesn't. He attacks Cope.
He does look kind of disheartened by it as well, though.
Yeah, but then once he's done it, he sort of looks like he's resigned to it.
He's more just following orders at that point, isn't he?
Yeah.
Doesn't want to take on the beating from Moxley, probably.
Probably. And then Jay White comes out.
Switchblade.
And grabs the briefcase and tries to attack Moxley with it, but Moxley ducks. Cope takes it right in the face.
He takes it hard as well.
Yes. So that's
hard.
Oops.
God.
And then following that, Moxley tries to pin Cope, but the ref does the slowest count in the world, which plays into the injury. And it's still very close. Yeah. But Cope kicks out.
I mean, there's no reason for Copeland to expend the energy until he has to, right?
So just use the time to have
let
it lie down.
Get a full sense of security on Moxley.
Definitely. So a bit more goes past, and then Christian comes out and stops.
Well, no, there's a referee count, and he just gets yeeted out of the ring.
Yeah, so
by someone in a hoodie.
Yeah, the ref gets pulled out when Cope is trying to pin Moxley.
I think he hits him with a spear.
And it's Christian. And Christian cashes in his opportunity, which turns this match into a three-way.
Yep.
Is that a good decision? Maybe not.
Yeah, I feel Christian jumped the gun on that one.
Should have waited a bit longer. These guys could have taken more punishment, and then you could have cashed in with more chance of getting it. Spoilers. Anyway, so Christian tries to pin Cope, and it doesn't work. Moxley puts Christian in a bulldog choke.
Yep.
Christian passes out.
Well, there's the point where he's in the choke, and then he just kind of puts his hand over Copeland's chest, isn't there? And the ref starts counting, and then John's like, crank, nope.
But that leads to the question of who would have won in that instance. Because
Moxley's in the dominant position, yeah. And that's what I said, and you were like, that's a good question.
It was a very good question. I remembered that one. Yeah, Christian then passes out. So Moxley retains. The thing that got me is how kind of weak this makes Christian look. Because he still got beat by people who've been in this whole match.
Well, he's a slimy prick. He's meant to be weak.
And also the fact that Cope had gotten out of the Bulldog choke like twice during this match, and Christian couldn't take it once.
But Copeland's an 11-time world champ.
Yes,
Christian's
very
not.
true.
Christian gets other people to fight his battles for him.
Yes, it just leads
Cope
into...
doesn't.
He should not have cashed in at that moment. He should have had backup. Should have waited until someone got pinned or choked out, and then cashed in on the winner when they were when they let their guard down. So many things he could have done differently. He's been so like opportunist. That's his whole character is an opportunist, and he's had that this whole run, and then he trips up at the last hurdle. Maybe he's just like caught up in the moment, thinks he can do it, and then can't. Yeah. But I wonder what's going to happen with his character now.
I think you're just a little butthurt because Moxley won, and that's why I predicted to win.
Well, can't win them all.
You didn't. So that means we level peg for this pay-per-view.
Oh, I think that's good, though. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I wasn't overly enamoured by this, and when Christian did turn up, I thought, oh, this is going to be great.
And then
it kind of was like, oh.
It just ended.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could have been something.
Okay. But on the other hand of things, I think this was the only way to get someone to lose to Mox, because obviously they're not ready to have Moxley drop the title.
No.
The only way to get Copeland to lose and still look strong.
Yes.
Because Christian took it. Christian took the hit. That's the best they could have hoped for in this event, I think.
True.
To make Cope. Because obviously if Moxley beats Cope, makes him look weak.
Yeah. Very true.
The only other way would have been like a disqualification, but I can't see it happening.
No, this is the way.
Disqualifications in main events like that generally cause a lot of discord and unhappiness.
Yeah, for sure. So on his way out, Moxley is met by Prince Nana, who is basically like standing like this, saying, "We think he's saying, we got next. Swerve's next."
I mean, he's right, because Swerve did win the number one contendership.
But what he's actually doing is pointing upwards.
Well, it's not until, 8 or 10 security guards surround the pair of them, and I'm like,
very true.
Where's Swerve?
It's like, what is going on? But Swerve is, because they are like on the exit between the stands, the seating. Swerve's up there in the seating, perched like Batman, I suppose.
I'm Swerve Man.
And then just dives on it.
Yeah. I think he stomped him. I think he stomped.
It was some kind of stomp. It's hard to tell when there's so many security and
it was quite quick and it was quite dark as well.
Yeah. So I mean, he's already got the championship opportunity.
You know what they should have done is taken the mick out of that unsanctioned match and put a spotlight on Swerve. Oh look, what's that up there? Swerve.
Oh, I wonder what that's going to be used for.
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, I mean,
if you don't know what we're talking about, go check out our Elimination Chamber reactions.
Yes. Swerve's got next.
Swerve's got next.
We'll see. Moxley's in more of a vulnerable position than he's ever been, or been in this storyline.
Well, it'll probably be at Dynasty in 4 weeks, or just under 4 weeks, and the Death Rider will probably be back at that point.
Yeah, true.
So.
True.
Yeah. So that was Revolution. That was all the matches.
Way. Good show.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was good. It was certainly a lot more enjoyable than the train wreck that was his Elimination Chamber.
A lot more wrestling.
Hell of a lot more wrestling. Clock doing it just over 4 hours, and there was barely any filler.
It's actually 3 short bits.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, no, it was good. I don't think this is probably I wouldn't rate this as the best pay-per-view.
No.
But it was still certainly up there. And it's the first one of the year, and if this ends up being the lowest benchmark for the year, then that's a very good, strong position for AEW to be in. What was your least enjoyed match of the night? Let me guess.
Well, it's a Big Boom AJ match.
There we go. Yeah. Hands down, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's on the rare occasion that when these guys are on, that's when Mercedes doesn't take home the trophy.
Congrats, Mercedes.
You didn't suck worse than Big Boom AJ.
Not hard, though, is it?
What was your favourite match?
I'm going for the cage match.
Yeah. Any reason why? Or?
It was just so dynamic, and a lot of use made of the environment and the tools and everything. the storyline through it and the relationship between them, and also between Mark Davis and Don Callis. My brain.
Cal Fletcher
as well.
Well, Don Callis didn't interact with Mark Davis.
He didn't, but he was on commentary again.
Yeah.
Being hilarious.
But obviously, Mark Davis and Cal Fletcher used to be in the Tag Team Aussie Open.
Yes.
So, just for people who don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Although there were the Kenny Omega match right up there. The Hollywood ending match is right up there. And the Brody King match as well.
And Swerve and Ricochet.
It's a tough competition. Like half the matches on the card were up there in the enjoyable ones. But cage match takes it for me.
I agree that the cage match was spectacular. I think if the Hollywood ending hadn't happened on this card, I think it would have been that.
Okay.
But I feel that seeing that much blood, I mean, I'm not averse to blood at all. I don't mind that at all whatsoever. But I feel that it kind of took a little bit away from the steel cage match by having...
Yeah, oversaturated.
A little oversaturated, yeah.
Or was it overshadowed, kind
of? Bit of both, maybe. Yeah. Bit of both. I think if the Hollywood ending hadn't happened, then the colour in this would have worked to a greater effect.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because you kind of expect it in the steel cage match. And obviously when they made that Falls Count Anywhere, you kind of expect it in that. And it's like, well, okay. So for me, it's the one that happened in between those matches. And I probably am playing favoritism as well.
That's okay.
Because it's Konosuke and Kenny.
Yeah, you're allowed to play favorites.
I feel that the story in that was more hard-hitting. Some of the moves, whilst they didn't draw blood or weren't like, oh my god, that's savage, like seeing Kenny getting dropped on that table and then he's like clutching his stomach and it's like, he's had 2 feet of intestines removed.
Yeah.
Holy that's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
You know, I almost did it. Yeah, so for me, it's definitely Kenny Omega and Konosuke.
Definitely. You're allowed to play favourites because the favourite and least favourite match is very, very subjective.
Well, yeah, I know, yeah. but I always tend to look at this in sense of what was the best match. I don't look at it and go, oh, well, Ricochet is my favourite, therefore I'm going to put that number 1. I look at it in the sense that that was the best match that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
I try not to favourite it because my favourite guy's in the match. It just happens that Kenny is
the... Speak for yourself.
It just happens that Kenny Omega is the best bout machine. Oh yeah, you're such a Don Callis fan, aren't you?
I love Don Callis.
What's next, Leanne?
Wrestle Dynasty, right?
No, just Dynasty.
No, just Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty.
Wrestle Dynasty is something different.
That's the one that happened in January.
Whole different. Just Dynasty, but there will be wrestling.
It's not just Dynasty. It's Dynasty.
AEW Dynasty. The word wrestling is in there. It's just with All Elite as well, so it's fine. That's next.
April 6th.
April 6th.
So we'll be covering that on the 7th. Yep. Cool.
Sweet.
And then after that, it'll be WrestleMania a few weeks later.
Ooh, it's coming up so quick.
Yep. No, we're almost mid-March, so.
Mental.
Takes away, Leanne.
Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you so much. Please like this video if you liked it. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials at Linktree in the description below, which will take you to Instagram, Facebook, and X. And you can talk to us there or talk to us in the comments. Let us know what you think the ruling would be if Christian's pin attempt while being choked out worked. We want to see your workings out.
Yeah, who had the bigger dominant position? Would Moxley have won it because he's in the stronger position? Or would it have been Christian because he's doing the cover?
Answers on a postcard. Or in the comments. So yeah, we'll be back for Dynasty.
We do not have a PO box.
And we've got stuff going on in between. Maybe some unboxing, some board game stuff, some video game stuff maybe. So check out the channel. And yeah, join in the conversation. And that's about it. So until next time, enjoy wrestling, whether or not there's blood. They're both good. Bye.
Bullet Club.